Hello and welcome to another video. And today we're taking a look at both the Lenovo Thinkpad T15 Gen 1 and T15 Gen 2 laptops for use in 2026 and onward. Now, to the naked eye, both of these laptops look very similar. In fact, almost the same. One differentiating piece is the sticker on the palm rest. Although they look near identical, they are quite different. I'm just going to pause for a second and I'll list both of the basic hardware specs on either side of the screen, mainly the CPU graphics, display panel, RAM, SSD, all the basics that you need to know when buying a laptop. Now, when it comes to the input and output of each laptop, it does look identical. I'll point out the main differences. The two 1920 by 1080 IPS display panels are actually pretty good. I would have no problem using them as a daily driver. And now they're both 1920 by 1080 IPS. The base model does have 50 more nits. The Gen 1 being 250 nits and the Gen 2 being 300. Now, I honestly don't really know how bright they are. Let's see what it looks like in the dark. Alright, the Gen 2 is a little bit more bright. Maybe that has to do more with the background, but the base model is 50 nits brighter, so that does make sense. Both displays are acceptable for me, especially on a budget. And I don't have too much to say about the keyboards. I mean, I like them. They're both backlit. They're both the exact same. I really like typing on these ThinkPads, so I don't know, I'm biased, I guess. And the touchpads and of course the track point, the two buttons and the middle button are the exact same on both model, same size and everything. So on each laptop, we seemingly have the exact same 2-watt Dolby Audio speakers. On each laptop, the speakers are right below the display panel and above the keyboard. And I mean, it's kind of to be expected, but yeah, they do sound identical. And I mean, there's no bass, but I guess that's what we have a headphone jack for. For videos where you're just listening to voice, I mean, it sounds pretty good. This is Haste Computer Repair. I'd like to welcome. And with each laptop, we're treated to that same 720p webcam with a little bit of latency. Actually, a little bit less than what I'm used to. You see my hands aren't really, it actually seems a little bit better on the Gen 2 and the lighting seems a little bit different, which is interesting. Maybe that has to do with the quality of the display panel. So down to the case material, what each laptop weighs, they're pretty much identical. The main difference that you're going to find with these two is the CPU and integrated graphics. So surfing YouTube and using this for general work, I mean, you're not going to see a huge difference. Maybe with the Gen 2, it'll be a little bit speedier, especially as time progresses. But honestly, if the budget's right, Gen 1, not that bad. Okay, now we're ready to take a look inside. Let's start with the T15 Gen 1. So first things first, we want to power on and start hitting the enter key so we can enter BIOS. When we see this menu, we press F1. Alright, and once in BIOS, we want to navigate over to config. And once there, we press on power and we scroll down until we see disable built-in battery. Tap on that and press yes. And now we're ready to open this thing up. And now with the laptop flipped over, we want to loosen up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws. Before we start, we want to remove the nano SIM card tray, and luckily my iFixit kit has this tiny little tool that I can use. Hopefully you can find something small enough just to release the clip and pull it right out. Now using something like a plastic guitar pick or this iFixit tool that I have, we want to score along the palm rest and the bottom panel to gently remove the plastic clips holding it in place. And you can see the little crease that we want to get inside right here. Here's the inside, our fairly sizable 57 watt-hour battery. And we do have 16 gigabytes of soldered memory on the motherboard. But what's cool is that we also have this expansion slot right here and actually have 8 gigabytes, 16 gigabytes, or 32 gigabytes So with these I can install 24 gigabytes, 32 gigabytes, or 48 gigabytes of RAM. Oh, and I also have this 4 gigabyte stick, so I could bump it up to 20 as well. Moving on, this is the M.2 slot for an NVMe SSD. And I have this Kioxia 512 gigabyte PCIe 3x4 solid state drive, which is the exact speed of this lane. So we'll remove the screw. And right above that, under this black sheet, is the WWAN port, which you can use to install a card to access cellular networks. And to the upper left, we have the Wi-Fi card, which is actually soldered onto the board, but it is Wi-Fi 6 speed, so being soldered on isn't the biggest deal in the world. Okay, and right beside that right here is a cable connection to the display panel. Only need to take that out if you're replacing the cable. Right here is the power connection to the speakers, which are running right across the top up here. Over to the left, we have this cable connection from the motherboard to this daughter board here, which is the Gigabit Ethernet RJ45 port. And kind of in the center of it all, we have the CPU underneath this black heatsink and the heat pipe leading to the exhaust fan right here. So let's take that off and add some new thermal paste and take a look. You just need that Phillips head screwdriver, and we'll loosen these 4 screws right here and the 1 screw off to the side here. We'll start with that one. And here we have the CPU die that is covered in some thermal paste. And you'll notice to the right we have this right here, which is the chipset, and you don't have to worry about putting thermal paste on that. I don't think it would hurt anything. Sometimes I do see thermal paste on it, but as you can see when we took the heatsink off, there was none on there. Optional. And usually I'd take a minute to clean off the fan, maybe with a Q-tip dipped into some alcohol solution. But this fan is actually looking pretty clean, so I think I'm good. Over here to the left, we have the CMOS battery connected to the board right here. And this ribbon cable is connected from the motherboard all the way down to this card right here, which is the sensor for when you close the lid and put the computer to sleep. Let's get a look underneath the battery. First, we can unplug it right here. And there's 3 screws to take out with that Phillips head screwdriver right here, here, and over here. Okay, so if you ever need to replace the touchpad, we have 4 screws right here that you can take off, and the touchpad will come right out. Of course, there is the ribbon cable connection from here to the motherboard. This ribbon cable connection right here goes to the fingerprint reader. This cable connection goes all the way over here to this USB port. Over here is where the express card reader would go if you had one installed. And right next to the plug for the CPU fan, there's an extra port right here for a cable connection. I'm not really too sure what would go there. Maybe you can leave a comment below if you know, and then we'll all know. That about does it for the motherboard tour. If you have any additional questions, just feel free to leave them below. Now I'll put this thing back together. Now we're ready to take a look at the T15 Gen 2. It's the same process. We go into BIOS, we disable the battery, just like we viewed with the Gen 1. And just like with the Gen 1, you take your Phillips head screwdriver and loosen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws. Also, just like before with the Gen 1, we take the plastic guitar pick or this fix-it tool and score along the palm rest. Also, just like the Gen 1, we want to take that SIM card tray out. So my suspicions are correct. The Gen 2 looks just like the Gen 1. So we also have 16 gigabytes of RAM soldered onto this board, but the speed is 3200 megahertz. And we have the exact same Wi-Fi 6 card here, soldered to the board. Looks like the same speakers. So I suppose the only difference is the CPU and RAM speeds. And the other difference is that this M.2 port for NVMe SSDs supports Gen 4, not just PCIe 3x4 like the Gen 1. I am going to install this PCIe 3x4 NVMe SSD because I'm saving my Gen 4 for some other custom gaming PCs. And because there's a bit of a shortage right now, I have to pick and choose what I install in devices. Because there's really no other differences here, I'm going to do the same service, put new thermal paste, install this SSD, get Windows 11 on, and then we'll come back and resume with the video. So despite all these similarities like the I/O, the keyboard, the screen size, weight of the laptop, stuff like that, comes in the rather substantial performance difference between these generations of CPU. And now keep in mind that's only one generation, but the leap from 10th to 11th gen is actually quite meaningful. The first test results I have is comparing DaVinci Resolve render times with 11 minutes of raw 1080p footage using the H.264 preset and rendering to MP4 format. With the T15 Gen 1, we are sitting at 18 minutes and 20 seconds. And if we were to compare between generations of ThinkPads, we can see that the T590 with 16 gigabytes of RAM is pretty much the same, coming in at 17 minutes and 52 seconds. But as you can see right here, I've already given away the results. The T15 Gen 2 kind of stunned me, coming in at 9 minutes and 6 seconds for a render. I honestly was not expecting that. So I've got Steam loaded up on my NVMe solid state drive connected to the USB Type-C port. And because I previously reviewed the T14 Gen 2, I know what to expect with the gaming performance. And now that we're done that DaVinci Resolve render, I can kind of see where the limitations will be with the T15 Gen 1. Despite me liking the laptop for general performance is going to be pretty different between the 10th gen Intel UHD graphics and the 11th gen Iris Xe graphics G780EU. So I think a worthy title for comparison is Left 4 Dead 2. We'll put the gameplay footage side by side, and then I'll show off some gameplay footage with each laptop separately because, let's be honest, this is going to be a separate experience. But for an old classic like Left 4 Dead 2, let's say you were playing with somebody and one person had Gen 1 and one person had the Gen 2. Oh, that's pretty bright, sorry. Would Gen 2 have the edge, or would it be pretty even? Let's find out. And by the way, as you can see here, I have an HDMI cable connected to the T15 Gen 1, and the other end is connected to my workstation PC, which has an Elgato capture card installed inside of it. And that's how I'll be recording the gameplay footage today. Here we go. Alright, so would I recommend either of these laptops for use in 2026 and onward? Of course, I love them both. I think the T15 Gen 1 for the right price would be an excellent choice. And if you're more using it for general use or for work as a daily driver and you don't need to do things like video rendering and stuff like that on the cheap, then yeah, the Gen 1, if the price is right, go for it. If you're going to do some light editing and want to do some gaming that is a little bit more than just the basics or really old titles, then the Gen 2, that's the laptop for you. So just make sure that you're not spending too much, and yeah, let me know which one you choose in the comments below, or if you have anything else to add or if you feel I missed something, let me know. Let's talk about it. Either way, thanks a lot for watching my video, and I hope you have a great day.